بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اجعل هذا الجمع جمعا مرحوما واجعل التفرق بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تدع فينا شقيا ولا محروما يا رب العالمين. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, we do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Last time we finished the very important concept about Ayatul Riba. Today we will start with verse 280 from chapter alBaqarah, which is وَإِنْ كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ فَنَظِرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ. Just because my way, always we try just to make a very quick review for last time so that we can keep ourselves on the track. If you remember last time, we highlighted strongly the question of when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا فإن لم إن كنتم مؤمنين فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله. Last time we finished this. One of the most important things we said, subhanallah, Allah says in these two verses, O believers, fear Allah and give up outstanding interest if you are true believers. If you do not, then be aware of a war with Allah and His Messenger. Allah is declaring war by Himself against those who insist to deal with riba. So my question was, subhanallah, Allah did not use this way, which is declaring the war against those who commit adultery. Allah did not use this way of declaring war against those who drink alcohol, even though this is a major sin and this is a major sin. And so the question, why Allah give this horrible declaration about specific the riba? As we told last time, we say riba is related to money, because in a sense about 7 sessions, all of our discussion, it was mainly about donation. I said donation, and which is money. We were saying that money in Arabic we say عصب الحياة. It's the main nerve of life. It's, now basically your body is fully dependable on the circulation of blood. How blood is circulated through the nerve system or the vein system, okay? Or how the brain is communicating with everyone else's nerve system. So we'll say money is the nerve of the system, or the blood, let's say, network of the system. If there's no blood or there is no nerve system, everything is stopped. Everything is stopped. Everything, nothing will move. So from an angle. So therefore, I gave 2 sessions ago the idea of why riba is haram. Last time I gave you an idea why the people of power don't want the Islamic system. On top of it, the prohibition of the riba, how they will be benefiting. The 2 sessions ago we highlighted the concept why riba is haram. As I told you, money is created to be a means of communication, if I may put it, okay? Not as an item itself. Either you use the money for services, for goods, for sharing, for whatever. But if you control money itself and you exchange money with money, you are enslaving the people by controlling the source of their oxygen. It's like controlling it. And we give an idea, you can go to that. Last time I highlighted, if you remember, an article. This article came in the context why the mainstream media are attacking Arabs and Muslims in the World Cup in Qatar. Because if you remember, mainstream media, they were targeting any negative thing, even though positives in Qatar World Cup It was 10, if not 20, if not 100 times better than any Summer World Cup. No sexual harassments, no alcohol, no troubles, no mad people were hitting, and nothing at all. Yet, they were looking at any negative thing. So he wrote an article, why they are holding this kind of feeling against us. So I quoted some of it when he spoke about, for example, gambling, alcohol, drugs, arms, porno sites, prostitution. If you remember, we said all of these, the trading, let's say, value of them on yearly basis, 2 years ago, it's about $2.3 trillion. $2,300 billion a year. So those people, these mafias, they are benefiting from gambling, prostitution, porno, blah, blah. Then I did my own research, and I said, I discovered in 2022, the general global wide transaction of money between banking system legally, I'm not talking about under the table, the legally admitted amount, it was about $22 trillion. If the beneficial interest system, it says 10 or 15, 20%, we are talking about another 4 trillion. 2.2, so on a yearly basis, a group of people, could be 1% of the people, they are benefiting out of what we consider haram with about $6 trillion a year, which means $500 billion a month. Which means about $1.8 billion a day. Which means about 135 million an hour. Which means 2.3 million a minute. Which means hundreds of thousands a second. Yani while I'm talking with you now, in the last few minutes, some people who are committing haram things, they are benefiting few tens of millions. The question was, do you know why they are opposing the existence of Islam? Do you know why they are pushing the mainstream media and giving them the money to speak about Islamic terrorism? They know that Islam the best peaceful religion, best justice, but if the Islamic policy came into force of prohibiting alcohol, the 200 billion will be lost. If porno, which is in Islam is prohibited, they will be lost 10 million. Gambling, 100 billion. Prostitution, 200 billion. Drugs, 200 billion. Arms, sometimes they create wars in countries to sell their arms. They create wars. There's no war. Create a war because we need to get rid of our arms because we have a lot of in the stock. Yalla, get rid. We need to manufacture a new. But how to get rid of them? Create wars. What? Create wars. But 1 million they will be killed. Who cares? Let them go to hell. This is haram in Islam. If Islam came to force, completely haram. I'm giving you an idea why Allah is saying فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, which means because all of these things, they depend on money. They do these things for money. So if you do not use money properly, you are fighting Allah. Which is, because by the way, just for your information, I knew that in Turkey, this information, I learned it directly from some Turkish intellectual people, academic, about 15 years ago. They were telling us about the election of the Erdogan's people when they were approaching the Istanbul, the city of Istanbul. Okay. One of the things that they did, they made about 25 years ago, more or less. Unfortunately, before the Islamic party came into power in Istanbul, I'm talking about when military people, they were ruling Turkey. Think about 70, 50, 30, 40 years ago. Unfortunately, Istanbul was very famous in prostitution. Very cheap prostitution. To a degree, it was very common that a British or a French or a German man will go with very cheap money, spending nothing. He can commit all kind of prostitution nearly for nothing compared with his country. Unfortunately, it was very common. When you go 80s, 70s, in that time. So when Muslims came into force, they made in Istanbul like a quick survey, a very genuine survey among the areas where those prostitutes operate. They went to them as a social services just to discover. They discovered 70% of them. The only reason that they do prostitution work is just they want bread and they want money to feed their families back in their villages. Just, no other reason. Subhanallah. They took a decision. Any female works in prostitution, if she accepts to work in a decent, pure work, chaste work, has to do with chastity, immediately she will be provided with a work and a salary. 20,000 lady, they left because of this decision, the prostitution. 20,000. Can you imagine? It's now just in the state of Istanbul. Now, the joke became later that those 20,000 prostitutes, they elected Islamists. They started making fun of them. They said, your electors are the prostitutes. And as a matter of fun. But actually, it's a sign of success. It's a very powerful sign of success. That the genuine Muslims, they came to solve problems. When Islam is applied. Otherwise, if we are thinking just with the prosperity of Istanbul as tourist city, apart from religion, is prostitution something good or bad from liberal materialistic point of view? It's highly need. So I will encourage them. But when Islam is applied, no, I want to honor them. Dignity. So it's not that haram is not a philosophy. No, just there. Practical application. I want to protect you, not to let any filthy, dirty man touches you or sleeps with you unless with a halal way, as a husband who will take care of you, feed you, cover you, protect you, work for you and your children and family. This idea gives you an idea what does it mean when Allah says فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ. Because Islam, you need to know this connect with something else. Islam is not a philosophical idea. It's a practical, applicable idea. It's a system of life. Because some people, they say, religion, yes. Other religions, it's not my fault if other religions are just philosophies. For me, it's a system of life. It has to do with riba. It has to do with gambling. It has to do with your food, your relations, your traveling, your marriage, your divorce, your everything. This is what we did last time. Today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in our session, verse 280, وَإِن كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ فَنَظِرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ وَأَن تَصَدَّقُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If it is difficult for someone to repay a debt, postpone it until a time of ease. And if you waive it as an act of charity, it will be better for you if only you knew. Another encouragement. We are still dealing with money. Charity, okay? Sadaqah, riba. As we say, the original base of anything has to do with money, that money belongs to Allah. And the concept of sadaqah in Islam, charity, donation, is one of the highest and top priorities of good deeds. To a degree, the example that Allah highlighted about if someone would love his wish to be fulfilled when he passes away, the only thing he will ask to return for it is لَعَلِّي أَصَّدَّقْ. Yani Allah is describing to us if someone was given like an acceptance for his wish when he sees the reality of the hereafter and he dies or he passed away قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. The best example was mentioned أصدق وأكن من الصالحين. Please Allah, return me back to do what? Sadaqah. This gives you an idea about high level of ajr, of reward for sadaqah. It's amazing. And by the way, one of our excellent titles as Muslims, we are the deen of sadaqah, because we are based on the concept that money belongs to Allah, not to us. Money is a trust under, and we are just the trustees. And this is a trust, and the only people who think in this philosophy is just Muslims. When you give, you gain, you don't lose. All materialistic, okay, liberal way of thinking, when you collect, when you have, you gain. For us, when you give, you gain. I mean, this is craziness. Are you crazy Muslims? No, we are not crazy Muslims. We are genuine believers. We know how the universe works. It's Allah who gives the compensation and the barakah. It's not the number. You have millions of people who have millions, but they don't know happiness. Allah is the one who gives you the barakah in the little or the moderate or the good that you have. So now, in light of this philosophy, Allah is encouraging us, reminding us, وَإِن كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ. If it is difficult for someone to repay a debt, postpone it until a time of ease. Please help, postpone. طب, in case. And if you waive it as an act of charity, it will be better for you. What kind of society is this, that one of its pillars encourages anyone who has a debt, if you want more ajr, consider it a charity? Imagine this. One of the biggest problems in our life, that most of us, we are in debt for banking systems. Most of us. Mortgages, cars, 99% of us just pay. Have you ever heard a bank forgives a client? Does it exist in the vocabulary? It does not exist, because it's a capitalism. Go to hell. Either you pay or you take your property out. But Habibi, there's no emotions. Either you pay or you are nothing. This is the system. Am I exaggerating, or this is the reality? Even if you were multimillionaire, you had a problem, take out, you become homeless. We have millions of homeless. If Islam is applied, no way, no homeless. No, it's impossible, by the way, it's impossible. No, not because we are exceptional. No, because the system of Allah is exceptional. Anyone who applies the system of God, the society will be in the top happiness, of the top level of happiness, whether we love it or not. This is how Allah designed it. That's why zakah, which is a compulsory act of charity or almsgiving, is compulsory. And then we have tens of ways of donation, sadaqah. No way, no envy, no hatred, no thieves, no problem, because everyone is giving. So everything will go smooth and in ease. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if you waive it as an act of charity, it will be better for you if only you knew. And then وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. Be mindful of the day when you will all be returned to Allah. Then every soul will be paid in full for what it has done. By the way, this could be the most important verse in the Quran. And it is believed by a good number of scholars, not a full 100 consensus, that it is the last verse revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. I repeat, be mindful of the day when. Let your mind be always aware of this reality. Mind always thinking, day of judgment, standing before Allah, accountability. By the way, very important. Anyone who keeps provoking his inner thinking with this reality will always win. You know why? Because this reality will give you the immunity against a lot of things. If you want to be a transgressor, to do something bad, once you remember Day of Judgment, you will stand for Allah, you will go step back. But if you are the one who's a victim, or you are facing very difficulty, someone took your right, you are facing something, when you think about that reality, you will see how silly what you are facing is, either or. It's amazing, by the way, Day of Judgment. And by the way, the most important second pillar of faith after believing in Allah, the most important out of, we have Arkan al-Iman, the pillars of faith are 6. تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره. We know it, okay? The second most important after believing in Allah is the hereafter. Because if the hereafter is missed from the equation, nothing will work. But in theory, if whatsoever, for example, we have no idea about the angels, still the equation will work. Imagine that Allah decided not to tell us about the angels. Imagine. And He told us that He's controlling everything by Himself directly. It's not a big deal for us. Allah, in a way or another, He's doing in His way. But He just did not tell us about the angels, part of His creation. But imagine that we have no idea about the hereafter, or we don't know that there is a hereafter. What will happen to us? Everything will collapse, by the way. Everything. Because what gives you patience? What? The reward where? Hereafter. The Jannah. It's based on it. When you took your right, the one who killed your parents, or tortured your family, or kicked you out from your country, or whatever, simply and he passed away, smiling. What will happen to you? Because you know there's a compensation day, there's accountability, Day of Judgment. You will take your right, Allah will give you your right, you will be compensated, still give you the peace of mind and give you the patience, and you will not take revenge, you will not exaggerate in revenging you. Why? Because of the hereafter. Otherwise, any one of us will become a criminal. Any one of us. It's either you commit suicide and finish your life, or you will be 24/7 criminal and take revenge. But by the way, it's common sense. Why not? If I don't believe in the hereafter, and there is a supreme power which is, I will give you a simple example. What makes civilized people, in our new terminology, in the West, civilized? One of the main reasons. Do you know what? The power of the law and the ability of enforcing the law. And believing in the power of enforcing the law. Otherwise, anyone will become a criminal. Because simply, it will be chaos. Because you know that even the Prime Minister did something against you. You go to the federal court, they will bring you right. Khalas, you will do nothing. You go to the lawyer, Prime Minister said such and such, it's defamation, it's a slander, he attacked me, we are sorry as a system, we will give a fine or give him a khalas. You will be calmed down. True or false? Even if a policeman, look now for example, where does those American, you go to YouTube, you will find thousands of YouTube clips for normal people who are speaking aggressively with cops, American cops. Thousands of videos. Just to say, stop your car, sir. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Am I detained? Am I detained? No, okay, sorry, I don't want to speak with you. Can I ask you why you stopped me? Because they know the enforcement of the law. Why did you stop me? Regardless, no. Why did you stop me? Do you have any suspicion? No. Okay, I don't want to speak with you. Go on YouTube, just ask it. Hundreds of these videos, you can see them. If they don't believe in the power of the law, if he knows that this cop with his machine gun can do anything and he will escape with it, wallahi, they will not dare to utter one single word. It's exactly what we do in our world. In the Arab world, what do we do? Any policeman stops you, حاضر سيدي. Whatever he asks, you will repay, because you know that he has an ultimate authority. He can do anything. No one will protect you. But what is it? Because when you believe that the system, I'm giving an idea. So what about when you believe in the system of Allah and the power of Allah, which is ultimate? Subhanallah. I'm just giving you the importance of this message, which is واتقوا يوما ترجعون فيه إلى الله. It's not just a theoretical philosophy. No. Be mindful. Be mindful. Keep thinking about this reality. When you return back to Allah, return back means I will stand before Him for the accountability, for everything I said, I did, I acted, I reacted upon, my intentions, everything, accountability. For me or against me. قال اتقوا يوما ترجعون فيه إلى الله ثم توفى كل نفس ما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون. Then every soul will be paid. Every soul will be paid in full for what it has done, and none will be wronged. In the footnotes, it says this verse 281, chapter alBaqarah, is believed by many scholars to be the last verse revealed of the Quran. Next ayah now. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. Now this ayah will speak about the loans. You know, still revolves around money. Charity, zakah, riba, forgiveness, money. But 22 verses, anything related to money. Now one of the main aspects of this very practical religion is loans, diyun. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يأب كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله فليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق وليتق الله ربه ولا يبخس منه شيئا فإن كان الذي عليه الحق سفيها أو ضعيفا أو لا يستطيع أن يمله فليملل وليه بالعدل واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فإن لم يكونا رجلين فرجل وامرأتان ممن ترضون من الشهداء أن تضل إحداهما فتذكر إحداهما الأخرى. By the way, this is one verse. I'm not reading verses. This is the longest verse in the Quran. Full page. Allah continues, ولا يأبى الشهداء إذا ما دعوا ولا تسأموا أن تكتبوه صغيرا ولا أو كبيرا إلى أجله ذلكم أقسط عند الله وأقوم للشهادة وأدنى ألا ترتابوا إلا أن تكون تجارة حاضرة تديرونها بينكم فليس عليكم جناح ألا تكتبوها وأشهدوا إذا تبايعتم ولا يضار كاتب ولا شهيد وإن تفعلوا فإنه فسوق بكم واتقوا الله ويعلمكم الله والله بكل شيء عليم. I will read the quick translation, direct translation of the meaning, which is a little bit long, about full page again. After that, I will try to give quick messages from, the shades of the meaning. Allah says, O believers, when you contract a loan for a fixed period of time, commit it to writing. So Allah is asking us that to write, the contracts of the loan. What is the main reason? To preserve the rights. Because money is one of the most serious things that people dispute about. Money. And we see ourselves now, sometimes, the very close friends, 15 years friendship, 20 years, once money is in the middle, big troubles happen. Subhanallah. Many people, they fight because of money. Forget friends, brothers from the same mother, they live together 20, 30, 40 years, brothers and sisters, same house. They love each other. Once the father or the mother passes away and they will be inheriting some kind of, inheritance, they start to fight because of the money. This is mine, this is yours, something. They go to the court. If someone has the upper hand, if someone is controlling someone because of his age, males against females, elderly against the small, money, out of a sudden, in 1 year, they will say they are all enemies. Because of what? They are 30 years of each other. Once money in terms comes, became enemies. So it's not easy. So one of Islamic good ways when it comes to loans, write it. Make it clear in written. Allah continues, let the scribe maintain justice between the parties. The scribe should not refuse to write as Allah has taught them to write. So Allah is encouraging, in case someone is giving a loan for someone else, that anyone who has the ability to write, this verse came in a time where those who were able to write were very rare in the society. It's not like now easy. No, not anyone was able to write. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging, if Allah has given you this advantage, use your power to help the people in writing the contract of the loan. The scribe should not refuse to write as Allah has taught them to write. They will write what the debtor dictates, bearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will yaktub. Now, who has that to dictate? Dictate means the exact wordings now. Okay, will be write what? In the day of such and such, I, Amjad Muhammad, something other, I declare that I have taken a date. So now they say the one who has to dictate the exact wording is the one who's receiving the loan. Why? Because he is the weaker party. He's the weaker, because if the one who gives the money will dictate, maybe will write something, in a way that just protects his money. The one who needs is the one who is inferior. The one who gives is superior. Look how accurate it is. The one who will be taking the money will write. Compare this with what happened to us when we are forced on insurance companies for our cars. You do shopping. When they send you the contract, it's 26 pages, 85 pages. And the very critical conditions, they are in very, very small lines. You need a big magnifier to see them. They will send it to you and please sign it and send it. Who has the time to read details with 70 or 80 or 60 pages? All of us, khalas, we have no time. Okay, sign. And the problem happens, the lawyers come to you, look, you signed in this, but what? This is in page 71. Where is it? Bring the magnifier. Oh my God, this is against me. You have signed it. Okay. But what if I don't want to use? No, it's against the law. You have to go to the insurance company. But I don't like this condition. You will have it. It's not up to you. SubhanAllah. In Islam, the one who decides what to be written is the weaker side of the equation. La ilaha illallah. When I told you about Islamic system, it's not a joke. It's a full comprehensive system of life. Allah says, the scribe should not refuse to write. Allah, they will write what the debtor dictates, bearing Allah in mind and not defrauding the debt. If the debtor is incompetent or weak, or unable to dictate, let their guardian dictate for them with justice. Call upon 2 of your men to witness. If 2 men cannot be found, then 1 man and 2 women of choice will witness. So if one of the women forgets, the other may remind her. Here comes now some kind of Islamophobic haters of Islam. Look, if a witness from a man, if a woman, there must be 2. SubhanAllah. When you go in depth, you will see how Islam is honoring women. One of the possible justification behind the wisdom of Allah that some scholars, let's say, concluded why it's the case that Allah decided that 1 witness, 2 men witnesses, if we have just 1 man and we did not find another man, one of the possible things, 2 women, not just 1 man. Do you know why? Look to the wisdom of Allah. What is the main reason of the witnesses? In case of a dispute and a denial from one of the parties happens, which means a problem, which means a court, which means fight, which means threat, which means blood. Problems. Look to the mercy of Allah. As if Allah is saying the following. Witnesses, their role basically to fight, to protect someone, to protect the right of someone against an aggressor, which means a very hot, tough clashes in the court. Allah will not allow a woman alone to be there. It's either you have another woman with you to take care of each other or don't be there. Is this honoring or dishonoring? You got my point? We are not discussing now, for example, beautiful party. Allah says, look, no, we are not discussing having sweets. You are in a tough clash of a denial of a liar who has taken money and he is denying that. When you go to witness, you might be threatened. You're a witness against someone who denies the right of the owner of the money. What if the denier is so powerful and a man and very aggressive? Well, sometimes if they look like this in the court, she will start crying. She might. She needs a support system. Wallahu a'lam. Wallahu a'lam. So when you think about it, Ya Allah, it's an honoring. Either you have a company to take care of you, like you or another woman, who will understand your faults, your feelings as a woman, not to be against those aggressive men. Because when men fight, when men become monsters and they fight, women, they can't beat with them. They can't compete with them. You got my point? SubhanAllah, this is the beautiful secrets of two witnesses of women plus in this context, Wallahu A'lam. Now, now the witnesses must not refuse when they are summoned. When they are asked to witness, let them come. It's a duty. It's a compulsory. You're a witness. You were a witness on that. Come. He's denying his rights. No, I don't care. No, it's not up to me. I'm a sinful person when I don't witness, because I was a witness on that. So I have to do. You must not be against writing contracts for a fixed period, whether the sum is small or great. The idea is the principle. It's not the sum of the money. It's a lot of money or less money. No. The idea of the principle. Whether the sum is small or great, this is more just for you in the sight of Allah and more convenient to establish evidence and remove doubts. Write it, make a witness, make everything clear. But why? I might forget. I have a good feelings toward you. I respect you as a friend, but I forgot. Because I forgot, the debt was 10,000. My memory a little bit was, influenced by some troubles, and I said, no, I remember that I took 8 from you. No 10, no 8, no, this is a contract. By your handwriting, 10,000. Oh, I'm very sorry. Khalas. Promise. But wallahi, it's 8. And I'm saying the truth, but I forgot. So, how to do that? Write it. That's why people of business, they learned it. Now, any genuine business meeting between two companies, they sit and they keep discuss blah, 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 whatever. They say when they finish, please send me an email with what we have agreed upon. But we have decided, no, Habibi, send me an email. This is a written document that we have agreed upon. Once you send it to me and I reply to the email, now officially you send, I agreed. Document. But do you remember that we agreed upon? No, we were discussing, just brainstorming, which is fair enough. When it's written, then now we have the signature. Now it is what? Officially, at least if you say, no, we did not agree to enlarge the extension in the right side. We talk about this, the left side. No, we discussed the both side. No, yes, no. Okay. Forward, this is email. Please, we want to do the renovation for both sides, right and left. Oh, I'm very sorry, I forgot. Finished. In anything, people of business, they know it. It's impossible to do it without any kind of documentation. But it's a big lesson for us. However, if you conduct an immediate transaction among yourself, then there is no need for you to record it. But call upon witnesses when a deal is finalized. Let no harm come to scribe or witness. If you do, then you have gravely exceeded your limits. Be mindful of Allah, for Allah is the one who teaches you, and Allah has perfect knowledge of all things. Now the last ayah that I will finish today's, inshallah, lesson with. So that next time we'll start with لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم, which is the last part of the verses in chapter alBaqarah, which is just 3 verses left. Allah says, وإن كنتم على سفر, still we are talking about the debt now and the financial dealings. وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة فإن أمن بعضكم بعضا فليؤدي الذي ائتمن أمانته وليتق الله ربه ولا تكتموا الشهادة ومن يكتمها فإنه آثم قلبه والله بما تعملون عليم. If you are on a journey and a scribe cannot be found, then a security can be taken, which is rahan. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching the people, giving them, this is the amazing of Islam, every single detail of possibility in your daily life is nearly mentioned in this constitution, which is the Quran Kareem, and then with the full, let's say, explanation of the Sunnah. If you are on a journey, and the scribe cannot be found, then a security can be taken. If you trust one another, then there is no need for a security, but the debtor should honor this trust by repaying the debt and let them fear Allah, their Lord. وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُ. Allah is reminding us, because any one of us can deny any kind of debt, trust, at any moment. Anyone can. We have the ability. Then what prevents me? If I'm just a normal human being, I'm a liberal, I'm a secular, I will say, if there's a record, I will count for 10 because of the record. If there's a CCTV, I know that I will go to jail. If he's more powerful than me and he can take me to the jail, if there is no mean to discover that I'm cheating, simply I don't care. Why should I? Why in all countries of the world, in the very public places, all of them, they have CCTV cameras to let the people know we are watching you. Watching means you will count to 10 before committing a sin or a crime or a trouble. Simply. Subhanallah. What is the possibility that I can escape with any crime without enabling CCTV cameras to see me? Is it impossible? As a human being, many of us, we can do millions of actions without enabling CCTV cameras. It's because they do not cover everything. We have a lot of privacy in our life. What's the possibility that we can commit a lot of crimes through for example, the internet, through the paperwork, through many tens of things? That's why human beings, whatever ability they have reached to, very powerful, more technology, more censorship, more whatever, just name it. We can cover 5% of our activities, 10%, some places for a limited time, 20, 30%, 24/7. Every time, it's impossible. Especially, we have the intentions, the feelings. You don't know. The only supreme power who knows that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, believing in Allah is a guarantee for humanity to be better. Because simply, believing in Allah, we don't believe just in a philosophical that, okay, there's a nice, cool God there. No. We believe in His attributes, that He is Al-Alim. He knows everything. Tayyib, He knows everything. So what? And He is what? Al-Qawi, the most powerful. Whatever. Al-Qadir, the most capable. What else? Al-Jabbar. Sami'. Because they need to know how important to believe in the attributes of Allah. It's not just exist. He exists. He knows everything. He hears everything. He's able to do everything. And He's controlling my life. He's able to capture my soul at any moment, and I will be held accountable, and He has the full power to punish me or to reward me. Otherwise, the equation is not complete. It's exactly like, okay, what makes the people in the liberal civil society who do not believe in any faith to commit to the law? Because they believe in the power of the law and the enforcement of the law. If I know that I have more superior power against the law enforcement, I don't care about the law. يعني, in theory, if I know that by a telephone call I can stop any policeman in his place and I can let any judge give me a release from any crime, do you think I will care not to commit any crime? No, because I'm above the law. but the law does exist. I don't care because I'm above the law. طب how? Regardless, I'm a multi-billionaire, I give a bribe for the judicial system, I'm whatever, or I'm the son of a very powerful person, or whatever. Sometimes this happens in some countries. This person is a gangster. He's the head of a mafia. He's a bad person, but they are afraid of him. He's above the law in terms of he can take revenge of even the prime minister himself. In some countries in South America, this is the case. This is the case. I mean, the drug gangs, they are much more powerful than the state itself. So a policeman cannot stop a gangster from the mafia of the drugs. They can't, because simply they will be killed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-hayy, the living. No one can kill Allah. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Does not sleep, no weakness, no forgiveness. He does not forget, does not sleep. Knows everything. Al-Qawi, the most powerful. When you know and believe in these things, خلاص. Either, it's one or two. Either you submit because you respect and love. If you wish, fear. No problem. Because of fear, yes, by the way. All of us, we abide by the law because we are afraid of the enforcement of the law. Not out of respect, by the way. I challenge the vast majority of people. They follow the law out of fear, not out of respect. This is very idealistic. You know, respect the law. But if you have the power to be above the law and you want to take revenge and you are against the law, you don't care about the law. Look to these politicians. What used to know but the law? But you have, I think, followed this. The island of Epstein, what's his name? Huh? Epstein, the one of the island who used to bring all these politicians to do pedophilian acts. Jeffrey Epstein, I think. Okay, طيب. Who was accused, the biggest leaders of the world, biggest top political leaders who are talking about human rights, they were going there to commit sexual crimes with kids. Don't they know the law? They know it. Don't they know it's a crime? They know it. But they have the power. They did not care. They did not care. In the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one is above the law. Everyone will be brought to this. This is the importance of this. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speak now, وَمَنْ يَكْتُبْ أَثِمًا قَلْبَهُ, Allah Muhammad says, if you trust one another, and do not conceal, and let them fear Allah their Lord. وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّ. Be careful. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks that He is the most Allah Ghafur Rahim, Allah the most compassionate, the most merciful, but at the same time Shadid al-Iqab as well. Okay? Severe punishment. So this is the balance, the beauty of the balance of Islam. We don't just keep about forgiveness. But what about criminals? If you want to discuss forgiveness, are you asking God to forgive Hitler, مثلا? Who killed 52 millions? No. Someone like Hitler should be punished. Oh, what's it? You want to create chaos in the world? He's a criminal. And anyone like him, and many people like him, those who killed and who caused all of this. No, we need the balance. Those who committed the crimes, they must be punished, or otherwise there's no meaning for the world, no meaning for living. Or as if you are encouraging everyone to be a criminal. Because this is the end result. This is the beauty of Islam. Now, and let them fear Allah their Lord, and do not conceal the testimony. For whoever conceals it, their hearts are indeed sinful. and Allah fully knows what you do. Now, next ayah will be inshallah our next week if we stayed alive. لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض inshallah بإذن المولى عز وجل. Now, the final message that I want to say is the following. All of these examples give us a beautiful idea about how human society on earth, they are in need for the Islamic system. I repeat, by the way, I had a lot of discussions with non-Muslims and with a lot of non-practicing Muslims, and a lot with some people who used to be practicing Muslims and they left Islam. And I always challenge all of them, and I can't remember any one of them who was able to reply to my challenge in the following. I say, look, I believe that non-Muslims, if they want to be happy, they need to apply Islamic system. I said, what? But they don't believe in Islam. Even if they don't believe it, they need it. Are you crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I will give you a simple example. Who is the only system on earth who strictly prohibits alcohol? Islam. Type. Ask millions of women, wives, kids, people at hospitals as a result of car accidents. Ask those millions. Do you feel happy if your father does not drink? Millions of them, I beg you, if you can convince my father not to drink. Why? Because we are suffering from his drink. Because every day he drinks, he comes drunk, he beats us, he hit my mom, he urinate on himself, we make laugh at him. Next day he's vomiting in the sofa, and he committed a lot of bad things. He urinated on the carpet. Next day you say, I'm very sorry, start crying and stuff. Why should you put yourself in this? So does alcohol benefit more or does it do harm more? So if you ask people of intellect, forget those who are addicted to it. Ask those who are receiving the bad influence of it. The wife of the drunk people, for example. Those who had car accidents, how many millions on earth? They are in hospitals, they lost their life, they lost part of their bodies because of the car accidents of drunk people. Ask them, if it's up to you, do you stop alcohol on earth? Yes! Because of drinking drivers, we are losing our lives. So, if alcohol disappeared, do you think people will be more happy or less happy? Because millions of casualties will disappear. What is one of the top reasons for car accidents on earth? Top reasons, what? Alcohol. But how many car accidents? Hundreds of thousands on a daily basis because of alcohol. But the cost of this, billions. If you stop it, people will be more safe, less troubles, less accidents, simple travel. Time. What is the only religion on earth that prohibits drugs strictly? Islam. Many other religions, they don't have the power of the legislation system, by the way, don't have it. Even if they wish, they don't have the text, they don't have the power, they don't have the judicial power to speak about it from religious point of view, not from legal, from religious. From legal point of view, liberalism, it depends on who wins the elections. Okay, according to the people, this is democracy. They want to make it legal. But in Islam, no. Wallah, even if the grandson of Muhammad himself, he came and wanted to allow alcohol, we will not listen to him or allow drugs because it's haram by Allah. Close. No one can play games with Islam. No one. Even if all scholars of Islam now, they can say, okay, because we want to consider the new liberal society, we want just to declare that hijab is not compulsory. We will kick them out of Islam. They can't. يا نساء النبي يدنين عليهن من جلابيبهن ويضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن. It's not up to anyone to change it. No one can play this. No one. Hijab is fard compulsory. Period. Full stop. خلاص. Next page. انتهى الموضوع. That's it. So you can't. So it's alcohol an example. Interest, yeah. I'm talking about non-Muslims now. If you asked 1 million non-Muslim randomly from the planet Earth, do you feel more happy with interest system or without interest system? What did they tell you? What is the biggest suffering of the people in this country now? Mortgage.
Taxes.
Huh? Taxes and interest, mortgage. You take something, most of the people, their biggest aim when they come to this country to buy a house. What's the disaster of buying the house? You keep your mortgage becomes what? Because of interest system. You start paying 3,000, 2 years later, 3 becomes 3,500. 5 years later, you are paying your installments with 5,000. Nearly the double. But how come? This is the system, interest. Millions of people, they are living in hell because of this. So if you give them what is better, interest system or non-interest system, all of them non-interest system. What is Islam? Simply gambling, ya ammi. Don't look to those who win 1 out of 1 million. The suffering, how many of millions they lose their money. They work 20, 30 years in one night. Have you ever watched people out of the casinos, especially in San Francisco? Go to YouTube. Crazy. You will find, for example, you know, in San Francisco, by the way, many hotels that are free. Do you know that? Hotels in San Francisco. Sorry, astaghfirullah. Not San Francisco. Las Vegas. Sorry. I mean Las Vegas. Yes, Las Vegas. I'm not expert, alhamdulillah. So that's why I don't know it. Okay, in Las Vegas, it's the middle of the desert. Hotels are free. Free. Why? But everywhere there's a gambling machine. Everywhere. In the hotel, in the floors, next to everywhere. Wherever you go, gambling, games, machines, all the time. It's addiction. So if you don't pay in the first floor, you will pay second floor. If you go to the lobby, you have another machine. If you go to wherever, and it's very fancy, very nice. So you try it. Alcohol, come on. Free? Ya Allah, this is new for me. And this is another, I'm not encouraging you, but just, alcohol free and hotels are free. But why? Because they know it, they studied it. You will pay your money. But the point is not that. Wallah, I saw many video clips about people who, outside casinos, crazy, in the streets, screaming like crazy, not like they became crazy. Because all of their wealth simply was lost in a few minutes. Why gambling is haram? That's what trade, you have ups and downs, you have timing, you have debt, you have transaction. But in gambling you said 1 million, tick, lost. What? Lost, khalas, out habibi, yalla. But out, go to hell, kill yourself, yalla. So this happens with thousands and millions. And a very small group of people, vampires, they are benefiting from this. So if you ask generally those who are hurt from gambling, do you prefer a world with gambling without? What is this? Islam. I'm challenging, I'm saying. The non-Muslims, they need Islam like Muslims, even if they don't believe in it. What was the examples? Alcohol? Drugs? What else? Gambling, mortgage, interest. I can prove it in any other example, even if you want to talk about sexual life or zina. I challenge you, I'll give you a simple example. Ask any woman on earth, atheist woman, liberal woman, agnostic woman, non-believing woman, whatever woman, any woman on earth, ask her, do you feel more happy when you know that your husband, I will not use the word cheating, do you feel more happy when you know that your man, your friend, your boyfriend is just for you, or he plays with other women? Any woman on earth will say what? Play? You are still young, you don't know the equation. What will the answer? Except crazy woman, but all normal women say, I feel more happy when I know he's just for me, which means don't commit anything, which means she knows that zina should be prohibited. Wallahi, I'm talking about on behalf of half people on earth, women. You know I'm supporting feminism now? No, I'm just giving an example. An example, because they know in their hearts, this is what satisfies them. Because she will not feel happy. I'm not saying how come they do it. This is another question. But genuinely, what is better for them? And they would love it not to commit. Because this is what they want. طبعا for us, we say zina prohibited, they say what? Cheating. But at the end, they consider it social crime. Still the fitrah is working. You see? Subhanallah. Like well, this is another example, let me not say it. Anyway, inshallah, if we stay alive, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, next week we'll start with verse 284, which is Lillahi ma fi samawati wa ma fi al-ard. Jazakumullah khair. See you next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. السلام عليكم كل حال يا سعد حياك الله الله يجزيك الخير كرمك الله.
Yeah, for a question, a quick question.
شرعا لا